Sites for the fans at home. And while everybody seemingly is at home watching this, take a look at the tail of the tape, if you will. The Dodgers are so superior to the Brewers in every statistical category. And these are offense. And these are the guys that make up tonight's lineups. 40 points higher in batting average. 43 higher in home runs. Alden Gonzalez joins us now. He is actually at the ballpark. Why do the Dodgers believe this year the outcome, Alden, will be different than it's been in years past, like winning a World Series?
Carl, because of this is as deep a bullpen as they've ever had. This is as balanced a lineup as they've ever had. And because of that guy Mookie Betts that you keep referencing, really the Dodgers' only real adversary at this point is just the randomness and volatility of these small sample sizes. And I spoke to Andrew Friedman about that recently, and he talked about how there's no way to really guard against that. So he takes on sort of a casino operator mentality where you stack the odds in your favor as heavily as possible, and you just hope the talent wins out. And we're about to see if that's going to be the case.
All right, Alden, so it's me and Eddie, and you just threw volatility at us here to start this game? I said me and Eddie. You understand volatility. I get it. First pitch of this night, fastball from Buehler in there for a strike. Christian Yelich, in an effort to get him as many at-bats as possible, batting leadoff. Here are Buehler's numbers twice on the IL because of a blister issue. They are concerned that that's something that can rear its head again.
Right. If they get 5 innings out of him tonight, they will be thrilled. He pitched 4 innings his last start. He's not gone more than 6 at any point this year. They just need to keep him healthy and have him go 5.
All right, so a couple of fastballs in there for strikes. That's a curveball, and it's 1 and 3. That's 0 and 3. That's strike 3. Our bug had it incorrectly. 2 fastballs for strikes and a filthy breaking ball, and a great start for Walker Buehler.
Yeah, that's been the MO so far for Christian Yelich. They know he was going to take the first pitch. He'll do that often. Then right there, the breaking ball up in the zone has been the MO of getting him out. A lot of that he's seen this season, and he's whiffed on a lot of those pitches also this season.
So that was efficient, and here comes Ryan Braun, the veteran right fielder. Not only are we firing, we're hitting corners.
Oh, my goodness. The Brewers hit .223 as a team this year. That would be the lowest number ever for a playoff team, except this year the Cubs and the Reds had an even lower average.
No swing on that one from Braun, who played in 39 games this year, hit .233. Saw the 8 homers, 26 RBIs. His last home run on the 26th of September. 5th time he's been in the postseason with the Brewers, 2008, 11, 18, 19, 20. And a good postseason hitter at .337. Boy, the Buehler curveball looks filthy early.
Yeah, that was right there, an uncomfortable swing by Ryan Braun. Good late action, sharp, down.
And it's a get it and go mode, and that's another breaking ball, and he's able to foul that off. I think the pace for Buehler is quick. Wait till you see Brent Suter on the other side.
We've already seen a swing and miss at a curveball. 50% of the time that someone swings at a curveball against Buehler this year, they miss. That's how good that pitch has been.
1-2, they set up inside. Fastball fouled off at 98 miles an hour.
And he sped him up right there, 98 miles per hour on an inside pitch. That opens up everything away. And keep in mind that blister is actually affected even more when he tries to spin the ball with the curveball.
So the idea, Eddie, that he's able to throw curveballs now and fastballs, and yet Dave Roberts, as you see the blister last Thursday, says we're not fully believing that we're got this in the rear view. We're cognizant of it. Is it something that over the course of a game can obviously kind of re-inflame? He gets Braun there, and that'll be a strikeout for the second out of the inning. Is that the concern? Because you look at it, you're like, well, he's fine.
Yeah, no doubt that's the case. You get more of a blood rush, and then all the friction that he creates from that spin. You see it from the top. Already getting two really good hitters. First Yelich, now Braun on that curveball for strike three.
So former Vanderbilt product has become the ace of the staff with Clayton Kershaw on it. Fires a fastball. That's turned around. Jed Jerko on the fastball to left. And it's A.J. Pollock who makes the running catch. Hard hit ball. Quick inning. And not a lot of pitches thrown by Walker Buehler. He goes to the bench. Dodgers come to the plate. Suter goes to the mound when we come back. Roberts, 56 different lineups this season. They've played 60 games. They've used 56 different lineups. Remember doing an early Dodger game, Eduardo. You said Mookie Betts going to end up in the leadoff spot. I don't know what they're doing here. He's going to end up in the leadoff spot. And he has most of the time. When he hits leadoff, the Dodgers are 33-9. Well, you do get the impression if he hit sixth, they'd be 33-9. They're that good. Here's Brent Suter, and he gets the ball for the Brewers. You figure Corbin Burnes would get the start in game one. He's a Cy Young candidate. He's not available. And it looks like we're going to use Woodford tomorrow night.
Right. And one of my favorite pitchers in the world is Brent Suter. He's good, he's brilliant, he's hilarious, and he works really fast.
Well, here we go. It's a product of Harvard University. Mookie Betts, of course, used to play in the shadows of Harvard University for the Red Sox. And it's strike one. He does work fast. Mookie's like, whoa, everybody, hold on. Mark Ripperger like, whoa. We know you're ready to go. We're not. Now you can go.
It's a funky delivery, yet he is so consistent with his release point. Able to throw strikes. There's not a lot of walk in the last 83 plate appearances to left-handed batters, and he'll face 3 of those. 4 of those in this lineup.
Not a lot of time to get the production value in between Suter pitches. He's behind Betts. 3-1.
Eddie, when you have a delivery that weird, it must throw the hitter out. Must be disconcerting to some degree, right?
I'm afraid to answer because I feel like he's going to throw the ball before I can even respond.
Dave Roberts was telling us the pace at which he pitches really throws hitters off. I mean, it really disrupts their timing, which is what pitching's all about.
How about this? Mookie Betts, 55 at-bats against left-handed pitching. No home runs this season.
This one driven to right field. It's deep. Back goes Braun. He's at the wall. It's off his glove. Betts will go into second base. Lead off double for Mookie Betts. Good effort by Braun, but an extra base hit for Betts.
And this is the reason why Mookie Betts works in the leadoff spot in any team. If it's the Boston Red Sox, and in this case, the LA Dodgers, going the other way, 3-2, gets on top of that one. Ryan Braun doing the best he can. Ball doesn't travel well at night there in LA, yet Mookie is able to drive it and start it off with a runner at second base.
And the numbers bear it out. 952 OPS hitting leadoff, 832 hitting second. He's clearly better at the top. He's more patient.
What a start for the Dodgers. And here comes Corey Seager, shortstop, having a monster year. First pitch inside.
Dave Roberts told us before the game he's hit the ball harder this year than anyone I've ever seen. It's amazing.
It is amazing, especially on this team and with the guys that Dave Roberts has seen. 307, 358, 943 slash line for Seager. Fully healthy after the Tommy John surgery, which cost him 2018. He was third in the MVP race in 16, the Rookie of the Year. Suter, who, as Eddie said, rarely walks anybody, now behind 3-0 after falling behind to Betts. Tatis, Darno, Sano, Acuna, and Seager. That's your hardest hit percentage leaders in 2020. And there's a walk, so first and second, and not the start that Craig Counsell or Brent Suter wanted.
And this is what this lineup does. It's a lethal lineup from top to bottom. They can hurt you in so many ways. There's not a lot of holes, and right there, Seager gets the walk on 4 pitches. You have to keep an eye on Mookie Betts. He likes to take third base also, so Suter has to keep an eye on him. At the same time, try to execute against a very good batting Justin Turner.
Third baseman, a 307 average, 400 and 860 for his slash line. And like everybody on this team, when he's hot, there's a danger the ball's going over the wall. 4 homers, 23 RBIs. Betts dances off second. And that one misses. So Mark Ripperger is not helping Brent Suter.
So this is Turner's 29th playoff game at Dodger Stadium. Ties Yasiel Puig for the most ever. That's what happens when you play this many rounds of playoff games.
That one got a little piece of the corner for strike 1. We're on ESPN2. The Yankees-Indians on ESPN. Yankees got off to a slow start. They had a couple of rain delays there. Cookie Carrasco was great, and then they brought in a reliever and a grand slam for Gio Urshela. Yankees 5, Indians 4.
We're ready to see what Mookie Betts does at second base. He keeps dancing. He's in the head right now for Brent Suter. Just have to focus on that hitter. Try to get that ground ball.
Not going. Turner pops it straight up. Keston Hiura backs all the way up at a shallow right to make the play, and there's the first out for Brent Suter.
Number 13, Max Muncy.
Here's Max Muncy, first baseman. The arrow points down next to all of his numbers: a batting average sub 200, a 330 on base, and a 720 OPS, all of which are down for a guy that is mashed before. He had 35 home runs in both 2018 and 19. Suter and Betts continue to do a little dance on the mound and at second base. It's a social distance dance. He doesn't go. That ball gets the bottom of the zone for a strike. I mentioned the huge home run numbers he had. It's the batting average, and look at where he has slipped to this year relative to what he did in 18 and 19. Yet he hits cleanup on a team loaded with all-stars.
So right there where Omar Narvaez wanted that pitch. He wanted it up. Instead was able to got it down. Suter has to be able to execute, hit his pitches against this lineup. Max Muncy, since last season, 15 home runs against left-handed pitching.
1-1. Check at third base, no swing. So the Dodgers in 28 August games hit 57 home runs. 57 home runs in August, 28 games.
Is that good?
That'll work. They've homered in 49 of their 60 games overall. And a 2-1 pitch to Muncy inside, and Suter has found himself behind on everybody he's faced.
He made 4 starts this year, a total of 13 innings. Only gave up 2 runs, only gave up 1 extra base hit. He's already given up an extra base hit, and he's in some trouble with his control and command.
Ball off the glove of Braun. That led to a Betts double. A walk to Seager, a Turner pop-out, and a 3-1. And now the bases are loaded. 2 walks in the inning for Brent Suter, who never walks anyone.
And again, this is the nerves right now. You know you have to be perfect against this lineup. You try to execute, then you fall behind, and then you're in no man's land, knowing that any hitter in this lineup can do some serious damage.
5 walks in 31 2/3 innings this year. Already got 2.
down moment here, Eddie, for Brent?
Yeah, and again, it's very unlike him, something that the Brewers haven't seen. When I said earlier that no walks in the last 83 at-bats to left-handed hitters, that surprises everyone. So he's got to go right back to the basics. Calm the nerves, take a deep breath, and just trust now that Will Smith, get him the chase to see if he can get a ground ball and get 2 out of this.
Chris Hook goes back to the bench. Betts, he's not going to be in the rear view anymore of Suter. He's moved to third, so he'll be in his periphery. And what a breakout season for the guy coming to the plate now, the catcher, Will Smith.
There aren't too many better offensive catchers in the league than this guy, and it's coming fast.
Huge numbers for him and a huge opportunity here in Game 1 against the Brewers. Suter just can't find it. 2-0. We have a shot of the Brewer bullpen. There's at least 4 guys getting loose.
4?
In fact, now they've multiplied by 2. There's 8. That is the definition of all hands on deck. 2-0. 3-0. What's going on?
Again, this is nerves. You can't replicate, can't practice this. You're there, you can hear everything that's going on in that stadium. And that Craig Counsell already hasn't even started to get a haircut. Hasn't gotten a haircut since probably last year.
Wow, how about that? Brent Suter has walked in a run. He's got 3 walks in the top of the first, and Los Angeles leads it 1-0. Of all the things that you anticipated, Brent Suter having 3 walks wasn't even in the house.
Again, normally the Brewers would have this great bullpen to go to early or late, but Devin Williams out, that's not quite the same.
So batting in the 6th spot for the Dodgers is, of course, the former MVP, Cody Bellinger. And Suter starts him off with a ball. Down year for Bellinger, though the power started the show a little bit with 12 homers and 30 RBI. He pops this up, left field. Yelich catches and comes home, and there's no advancement from third from Seager. Big out for Bellinger.
Number 11.
This is what I like about Mookie Betts leading off. He gets to study the pitcher, gets to see all the pitches he has, and then he helps his teammates out. A.J. Pollock was coming on deck, and you see Mookie Betts giving him the handshake, but letting him know, hey, this is what I saw maybe on the changeup or the fastball or the slider. Keep an eye on this. Just the little tendencies. He helps his teammates so much. He makes everyone around him better. That's what you love and what they loved in Boston about him. He just made everyone prepared once they get up to the plate.
Justin Turner in the foreground wearing a microphone tonight. We're going to talk to him in the 2nd inning. This is such a big at bat. If Suter can somehow work around A.J. Pollock and only give up 1 in an inning in which he has walked 3 and given up a double, that's a big victory for the Brewers.
26 pitches already.
1 run is different than anything crooked. 2-0. Amazing. Bullpen has got to start getting loose and getting throwing and getting hot. Eric Yardley is doing that right now as he has thrown 13 pitches and 12 have been balls. His last 13 pitches, 12 balls. Bellinger popped out, gave him a break. Wow, he walked in another run. You're almost sitting here feeling bad for Brent Suter, given the state of the Brewers going into this game, and his 4th walk of the inning and a 2-0 Dodger lead. Counsell has got to be beside himself.
Yeah, well, if you're a Dodger fan, you're not feeling bad at all for Brent Suter. But if you're in Milwaukee, you're a Milwaukee fan sitting there watching this, without a doubt, not something you want to see, especially this early in the game.
Tim, he has walked 4 guys this inning.
He walked 5 guys this season.
And here's Edwin Rios, the designated hitter.
Ravi, the best, if not only, chance for the Brewers in the series is to punch the Dodgers in the mouth in the first inning. The Brewers were not over 500 for any day this season. For the season, they have to do something early, and instead the opposite is happening.
Big time threat at the DH spot, and that ball is ripped down the line, and it is foul. This guy, Rios, hits a home run at about once every 11 at bats, and he just missed a grand slam.
Yeah, he's got good pop. He's a good elevation. Edwin Rios just missed one right there. Again, Brent Suter has missed arm side on most of the pitches this inning. Omar Narvaez has to help him out a little bit. Just get out a little bit more to see if he can go glove side, help him out in that part, change the target a little bit, because right now Suter's just lost on that mound.
1-1 on the ground. Here will throw to first. That'll do it. Woo! 4 walks, 2 runs for the Dodgers.
How the hell do we miss having you guys behind the plate?
Those are the sounds of Justin Turner. You heard he has a microphone on. He checks his hat to see what we're doing with Daniel Vogelbach due up to start the 2nd inning. He's got an earpiece in, but we're a little hesitant to ask a question because we're not certain that it's working properly. And rather than confuse the heck out of him, we'll wait to know that it is. Buehler's first pitch. The second, a fastball misses.
And Vogelbach has been great since he joined the Brewers, hitting .328. But keep in mind, he was DFA'd by the Mariners, waived by Toronto, and now he's hitting 4th in a playoff game for the Brewers.
That's in there for strike at 96 miles an hour.
And it doesn't matter the velocity against Daniel Vogelbach. The shift is completely on Justin Turner playing on the second base side. And you have the second baseman playing way over, and that's Chris Turner playing way over. Chris Taylor playing way over in right field almost.
Yeah, he's close. I mean, it's almost as if they have 4 outfielders. A fastball poured in there past Vogelbach.
No surprise bunts whatsoever for Vogie.
No, I don't see that as part of his game.
To me, he looks like the Whammer from The Natural.
It's a good one. I can see that.
But this is why baseball's so great. Open to all shapes and sizes as long as you have the skill, and he does. He can hit.
He's got the hit tool. Blew a fastball by him at 96. For Walker Buehler, his 3rd strikeout in 4 batters.
And again, after the long inning in the bottom half of the 1st inning, Walker Buehler comes out still throwing BBs. Effective, both with the fastball and the curveball, getting Vogelbach there.
Man, that was a fairly lengthy bottom half of the 1st. Buehler came out on fire in the top half, and then he had to wait again. Now he's back. See the score in the upper right. The Indians have come back to tie the Yankees 6-6. They're in the bottom of the 5th. Avisail Garcia, fastball down the middle. All right, I'm going to try it. Justin, it's Ravi here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Whew. Must have been all the wax in the left ear.
I guess. I thought I was just going to have to play a half inning with this uncomfortable earpiece in and not be able to hear anything.
There is a feeling of guilt asking you to do it and then make it uncomfortable. At the very least, it should be comfortable.
At least I didn't have to wear one of those big old headsets out here. That'd be weird.
Well, this is such a unique opportunity. Thanks very much for doing it. And we'll certainly pause on every pitch.
Perfect.
That one's a ball. So tell me what were some of the things you were doing before the game with the get your knocks. Give us a little insight after the next pitch what all that meant.
Oh, that was something AJ started saying about 2 weeks ago. Just he was hitting a lot of balls hard right at people, and he said, "Man, I just got to take my knocks." Then he started hitting it over the fence. So. We don't have any ball boys, so I'm just trying to keep the game going.
Don't you miss the kids?
We forgot to add ball boys into the proposal.
Don't you miss the kids in the stands asking for the baseball?
Yeah, you don't get to throw anyone a souvenir. Oh, look out. Although keep an eye on AJ when he has to go get those balls down the left field line. He throws them about 100 miles an hour at those cardboard cutouts in left field. He's like playing down a clown out there.
Two again to Garcia. So that ball gets past. What were you? Was it you and Rios who did what it looked like? I would imagine you were blowing up a balloon. What was that little thing you were doing?
Yeah, blowing up a balloon. It's a little bit of an inside joke, but it was definitely blowing up a balloon.
I thought I nailed it. Laser back up the middle off the bat of Garcia and a runner on.
Justin, when Walker Buehler is right, what is it like playing behind him?
Oh, it's awesome. He's got unbelievable energy on the mound. That's how confident he is in himself. And you can just see that when he takes the ball. So he thinks he's the best, and he's come up big for us in a lot of big games.
What are you looking at in your hat there?
Just our defensive positioning. Instead of having to look in at Dino every pitch, we put a little cheat sheet in our call.
Now, does it change from pitcher to pitcher?
Yeah. We got usually I think it's Travis Smith, our strength coach, will change out all the cards when we're changing pitchers, and then if it's in between innings, one of our bat boys will run them out and change them out.
So Orlando Arcia, he swung at the first one and missed it, and he swings at another breaking ball, and it's 0-2. Justin Timms covered baseball for some 40 or so years. He said this is the best Dodger team he's ever seen. You get a chance to bat in the middle of a lineup that's got Betts, Seager, Max, Will Smith, the former MVP Bellinger. That guy right there, we're seeing Seager. What's that like?
I heard the first part, and in my 7 years, this is the best team that I've been a part of. But I can't hear you guys again. Attaboy.
0-2 strikeout.
Let's see.
Am I back? Testing 1, 2, 3 of Justin Turner's right ear. I don't think he's hearing us. Pretty incredible to have a player in the middle of a playoff game be able to talk with you.
One thing
I'm in Miami. And he is having a conversation while he's in a big league game. That's phenomenal.
Spring training is one thing. A regular season game is another. A playoff game is amazing. And to be that cool about things is remarkable.
Buehler misses at the bottom of the zone. If you see us, you just give us a thumbs up or hear us. This is Eric Sogard. He's the third baseman. He steps out.
And by the way, the ball that Avisaíl Garcia hit up the middle was 114 miles per hour off the bat.
Justin, you got us back again?
Yeah, we're back.
All right, thanks again. So, yeah, the idea was you're in the middle of this lineup with all these great hitters around you. Tim said it's the best Dodger team he's seen in the years he's covered baseball. What's it like to be in the middle of that?
Such good players. Back. It makes it easy to show up and not try to do too much every night. Just find a way to get on base and let the big boppers behind you drive you in.
It's got to be a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun listening to you and talking with you. It's 2-0 Dodgers, middle Shella. So Brent Suter able to get out of that first inning, 4-walk inning with a double to Mookie Betts to start the entire thing. He's back on the mound. Brewers bullpen has sat down. We'll start with Chris Taylor. First pitch gets a called strike. Justin Turner kind enough to be wearing a microphone and an IFB. What has this season been like? I don't mean on the field. I mean, what's it been like for a baseball player for you?
Baseball guys are, there we go. We're creatures of habit, right? We have our routines. We have our routines, and everything got changed a little bit this year. I think the biggest adjustment was, pushing back the time that we were able to come to the field. So there was a 5-hour limit. So for tonight, a 7:07 game, we couldn't get here till 2:07, which kind of makes it a little bit different getting your routine in and getting all the stuff you need to get done before the game starts.
And you guys you're in a hotel now. You're sort of quarantined, right? You're all in your hotels. Yeah,
we're in a hotel here. Most of the guys. There was a few guys that got exemptions that have kids or their wives are pregnant. They allow them to stay at home, quarantine at home. But most of the guys are in the hotel.
All right, let's go through the Mookie at bat here. Feel free to be analyst with a guy like Betts up.
Yeah, well, the guy on second, nobody out. He's looking for something out over that he can hit something behind CT and move him up to third so Seager can take a chance to drive him in with less than 2.
How would you describe Mookie with regards to your expectations and what he's actually done?
He's a gamer. He's a ball player. Does everything right. Goes about it the right way. And he's just a winning player.
Justin, does he do anything that you just go, wow, how does he do that?
Well, the most amazing thing is
keep going. Like it.
He's never satisfied. Every day in the cage, just trying to perfect his craft. And if you guys watch the ballpark cam about 4 hours before the game, he's out taking ground balls and taking fly balls and throwing the bases. And he just doesn't take anything for granted. He works as hard as anyone every day, trying to get better.
Justin, I just heard Dave Roberts yell, like it right there. Keep going at it. Do you really hear him when you're at the plate and he's yelling, even with no people in the stands?
Oh, yeah.
While he's masked up?
Everyone can hear him. That a boy. Come on, let's go, CT.
Taylor rounds third. He's going to score easily. Double, and Mookie Betts slides into second. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Nothing Dodgers.
And every pitch from Brent Suter up in the zone again. This one, slider stays up. Mookie, when he has 2 strikes, he forgets about moving him over, sacrificing himself, and this time moves him over by trading places with him. Ball hitting the gap, he's thinking 2 all the way. And Brent Suter, not a good start to this wild card game against the LA Dodgers.
Justin in the on-deck circle. Betts now 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. Here's Corey Seager. jammed a little bleeder, and that's caught. And now Justin goes to the plate.
Justin Turner.
Whether he took it out of his ear or not, I'm not gonna talk during the at bat, assuming he still has it in. All right, so the microphone to his ear has been closed, so he can't hear us. Well, the start to Mookie Betts' postseason career with the Dodgers.
No surprise. Someday he's going to join Frank Robinson as the only players to win the MVP in both leagues. He's going to be in that hunt this year, but he's the difference between all these other Dodger teams. Best defensive right fielder in the game and an absolute dynamic leadoff hitter who can hit the ball out of the ballpark and get everything going as he's done already twice tonight.
You don't invest 12 years. I mean, Mookie Betts is signed through 2032. It's 2020. He's signed through 2032. You don't do that just because he's a good right fielder or a good hitter. You do that because of the person he is and what he means to the team and the organization as well.
Well, you give him that money because 4 hours before the game, he's out throwing to the bases at full speed. You know how many guys do that these days? Not many. That's what makes him different.
You answered your own question before we had a chance. 3-0 Dodgers and a 1-2 on the way to Justin Turner. Another one sky high as he chases a high pitch. Fourth in WAR, 16 homers, has him tied for fifth, and the defensive run saved, he's third. Chase it.
And the only outfielders ahead of Mookie in defensive runs saved this year are Byron Buxton and Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo is a way better athlete than people think and is a pretty good outfielder, but Joey Gallo's ahead of Byron Buxton and Mookie Betts. I find that hard to believe.
Turner shallow left field, Bermuda triangle type shot, and it's Yelich who comes up with it. The ball will not drop. And Turner retired. See the Yankees score in the upper right. Gary Sanchez, who is batting ninth tonight for the Yankees and playing catcher, just hit a 2-run home run. And here's Max Muncy. With a 2-0 down. Prodigious power, Max Muncy has put on displays, great displays during home run derbies. Inside, ball one.
Most of the misses for Suter have been, as I said earlier, arm side, has not been able to adjust well. He'll pitch up, and he has to pitch up to be effective. Anytime he wants to throw that pitch right there, then to get hitters to chase. But Muncy has such good discipline at the plate. It just seems now this is what the team is built for. The playoffs, they're digging in. They're focusing more now on their at-bats than in the regular season.
Called strike, a ball that didn't look like it was in the zone. But Craig Counsell was asked about the parameters for Brent Suter. Like, what's the leash going to be? He said the parameters are to get people out. I mean, that's what we're looking for out of Suter. Not really a number of pitches, it's getting people out, which he has not really done effectively tonight at all. 4 walks in the first inning, another couple of doubles here in the second. Another one missing arm side, ball 4. He walked 5 guys all year. He's walked 5 guys tonight. And Greg Counsell may have said that is the last walk that Brent Suter's going to issue tonight. 51 pitches. Yep, and the signal's been made. He's going to the bullpen. Not the start that Suter wanted, not the start that Counsell needed tonight. Yardley's coming in from the pen. Mookie Betts, have yourself a great start to your Dodger postseason career. Double in the first, double in the second, and keep the wheel turning. There is a look about the Dodgers tonight, and given that the Brewers are so undermanned, and there's no margin for any error. Eric Yardley's come out of the game, a 1.54 ERA. And first pitch he throws, Submariner in there for strike 1.
So this is the first look at the Brewer bullpen, which had the highest strikeout rate of any bullpen in the history of baseball. Of course, Devin Williams had a lot to do with that, so did Josh Hader. But
strike. Didn't look like it was in the zone, but a call strike. So Eric Yardley, last pitch Sunday at St. Louis, and was able to manage a perfect 7th inning. Leading the Brewers in appearances. This is his 25th. 1-2.
And again, guys that come down from that angle, Todd is a right-handed hitter. Just think about middle the other way. Anything that's thrown soft, you can pull it. You want to keep the bat head in the zone as long as you can. Keep the thought process, opposite field, right field, driving it.
Right center field, fairly deep. Braun going back at the wall, and he's able to make the catch. Ryan Braun's been tested tonight. 1 went off his glove, 1 ends up in it. Betts 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles. 3-0. See what happened there in the first inning. Plus, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's just really uncharacteristic. I believe he had 5 walks coming into the game. So to have that many walks is just a Brent Suter, frankly, that I haven't seen. So. He just kind of got off track, and then it looked like it sped up on him a little bit. Thankfully we got that last out, and we're still in the ball game. Still in the ball game at
3-zip as Buehler's first pitch is a ball. How many contingency plans do you have, given how uncharacteristic that was? I'm just curious, like how you deal with something. Are you already prepared for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're prepared for it, and now it's more guys have to contribute. That kind of what's at stake now. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to have more guys involved in the game, and more guys are going to have to pitch well.
Christian Yelich in the leadoff spot. Thoughts? You haven't had him there since 2018.
Yeah, we've struggled to score runs for most of the year, so it's just a different look for our guys in there, and obviously Garcia's been struggling a little bit, so give him a different look at the game, and had a great first at bat. So just trying to do something different with our guys to switch it up a little.
Greg, thanks so much for being with us. Best of luck tonight.
All right, my pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Greg Counsell, manager of the Brewers. Tough spot, tough start.
That's a cool hat.
Strike there to Kira, who is ready to move down to first base.
I mean, if I had to pick a young manager moving forward to build my team with, I think I'd take him. Really smart, great communicator, tremendous feel for the game, tremendous feel for people, hilarious.
You're a
self-deprecating.
That's a high compliment, and I'm not arguing with it, but think about the managers in baseball, including the guy he's looking across the diamond at, and the likes of Boone and Ross, and even the veterans who've been around, Schilt, but Greg Counsell's the guy. I can see that.
Went to Notre Dame, Mark Grace used to call him Rudy with talent.
Sure. 3-2, no, strike three, and a walk there for Buehler.
Good take right there by Keston Hiura, a guy that's started off with high hopes, has gone down a little bit, but the zone you see right there, he takes it, trusts what he saw. Now he can get something started for the Milwaukee Brewers. They need to at least put one on the board and get that top of the order up with runners on.
As difficult as that first inning was, they are, as Greg said, still in it. It's 3-zip. You got Narvaez, the 9-hitter, and then you're back to the top. That one went right by the catcher for strike one.
He has tremendous life on that four-seamer. Eddie, when you see a four-seamer like that and you know he's got that curveball in his pocket, what does a hitter do?
Pray.
Pray.
Yeah, you pray that you keep looking for that fastball, and you have to trust the training, the practice that you've had. And this is why he's special. He's got stuff. You can't replicate stuff. Right now, 96, 2 pitches right by him. Now you climb the ladder just a little bit more. He's been late. You don't help him out with a breaking pitch. Continue to throw that fastball. If you throw it down, he's going to hit it at that speed. But you throw it up, he's going to have to cheat to get it. Right there. Look what Will Smith is pointing at.
Right down Broadway, strike three. 3 straight fastballs from Buehler. He's got 5 Ks.
Yeah, that not only did it look like a strike, it sounded like a strike also. 98 miles per hour.
Up and in at 98. Good luck with that.
And here's Yelich. He struck out his first time up. Breaking ball, filthy after 3 straight fastballs.
Ravi, this has been arguably the best hitter in the National League the last 2 years, and he hit .205 this year. That is the lowest batting average ever by a former batting champ in a season of at least 150 plate appearances, proving again how difficult this game is, that this guy could struggle as badly as he has.
And he did it against great pitchers, and tonight you realize exactly why it's so hard. You go curveball, then 98.
Then 98, and then you look at the numbers so far this season against curveballs. He's seen 17% of the pitches he's seen has been the hook. Last year, 10% of it. And he's whipped 54 times on that hook. Again, you saw him sitting there looking for the curveball, and then he gets a fastball on that second pitch. Now Walker Buehler can do anything he wants with him.
Lays off the curveball. The concern again with Buehler is that blister on his finger. Dave Roberts said, 4 innings, maybe we're good. He was looking for a net gain, which is just don't get hurt and come out of the game. And if we can have a lead, great. It's that right finger there. You can see all the stuff that's on it to prevent it from opening up again. 99 on that one. Now he
sped his bat. Yep, now he sped his bat. Remember, this is a guy you circle in that lineup. He's been probably the best hitter down the stretch the last 2 seasons. It's some kind of special for Milwaukee. But without people in the stands, Craig Counsell told us earlier in the season, he's just been a different player.
1-2. And that one is hit hard, but it's at the first baseman. They go to second for 1, back to first. It's thrown past Buehler. Muncy started it, and then the throw from Seager back to a covering Buehler was out of his reach. Hesitated a little just to give Buehler a second to get over there.
Yeah, pitchers have a tendency to stretch before the throw is even made. And that was one of the examples right there. I don't think he would have got him anyway.
And he's starting Buehler in game 1 and Kershaw in game 2. What do you think the reasoning behind that was?
You don't know how far Buehler is going to go, and That way you can use the bullpen aggressively early in game 1, and then given that there are no days off in between games 2 and 3, could have a fresh bullpen in game 3, knowing that Kershaw gives you length.
Jock Peterson, Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw's been terrific this year. His velocity's been up.
Here's how good their pitching is. Their ERA was 3.02. The second best in the league was 3.84. That .82 difference is the largest difference in history between number 1 in the league in ERA and number 2. That's how much better they were than everyone else. And once you get through Kershaw, if there's game 3, you got Dustin May with a 93-mile-an-hour sinker.
Good chance to see Urias out of the bullpen tonight. Gonsolin's been terrific. He's got Braun 0-2, looking for strikeout number 6. And there it is, a half dozen so far for Buehler, who looks real good. Dodgers got a 3-0 lead. Milwaukee's got 1 hit. They're into that Brewer bullpen, and Buehler is breaking off curveballs. Cody Bellinger will lead things off. A.J. Pollock, Edwin Rios. Dodgers at home, up 3-0 in game 1 of this wild card series, and he fouls the first pitch off. Big time difference, obviously, for Bellinger. Last year's numbers and this year's.
Right, and a huge difference in the postseason. His OPS in the postseason is 351 points lower than his career OPS in the regular season. That's the largest gap of any player in history between postseason and regular season.
Hit that one fair, snared by Jerko on the play at first, out. Great effort by Yardley to get over there and beat him to the bag. What a play by Jed Jerko, too.
That was great hustle right there by Yardley. And one of the reasons is when he delivers the ball, he falls towards the third base side. So Jerko protects himself from a bad hop, making a great play and a good feed. Cody Bellinger gets down the line really well. Let's not forget, he's not just first baseman. This guy can play the outfield with the best of them. Good speed, but great coverage right there. Fundamental PFP by the Milwaukee Brewers.
Way underrated speed for Cody Bellinger. Max Muncy's told me, freakish athlete, and we saw it again there. He gets down the line really well.
That play by Jerko, too, was incredible. That baseball looked like it came so close to hitting off the first base bag, and he snared it. Here's A.J. Pollock. Strike 1. Boy, Yardley found another gear, too. As soon as he realized Jerko made that play, it was a foot race between he and Yelich, and he got there.
Eddie, what's it like for a hitter to see the funky Suter from the left side and now the funky Yardley from the right side in the matter of just 3 innings here?
I know it's got to be really difficult again, but you know, all these guys are trained for it. I remember having conversations with Mike Butcher, who was the pitching coach for the Diamondbacks, then the Angels, and he would say, give me funky guys from different deliveries, and it'll work. Deception works, and if you have stuff added to the deception, they can eat up some serious innings.
Center field and a running catch by Avisail Garcia. John Brickley's in our studio with an update.
Ravi, so much for the Gary Sanchez struggles during the regular season. Inserted back into the starting lineup. First pitch he faces on the fastball, sends it out of the park. How about 7 home runs in the last 2 games for the Yankees? They lead the Indians 8-6 in the 7th.
Yeah, the bats have been working for the Yankees since the postseason started. A big first game, and now back on top here in game 2. Looking to sweep the Indians on the road. Road team 6-4 so far with these 2 games still to go. That ball fouled off from Edwin Rios.
Rio started tonight against a left-handed pitcher. Bit of a surprise, but 13.06 OPS against lefties. This kid can hit.
And how about it? A 1-2-3 inning. Dave Roberts will join us, the manager of the Dodgers, as his team leads 3-0, 1/3 of the way through. Only manager in the divisional era to win division titles in each of his first 5 seasons. And, of course, the ultimate prize, the World Series. We'll get to that later, but your assessment of how this game has started for you?
Offensively, I really liked our approach against Suter. He's a guy we made sure we tried to get him on the plate, and I thought we did a good job of that, earning some walks. Didn't get the big hit, but still came away with a cricket number in that first and tacked on again there in the second inning. And Walker's just looks really good in the delivery. I think he's got a really good lane right now with the fastball, with the life, and it's a fastball, cutter, curveball. And so we'll see. I know we've been dealing with that blister, so right now I'm going to keep an eye on it. So it's kind of the 4 or 5 inning situation right now.
So, Dave, you're checking on that blister all the time during this game, correct?
Yeah, we are. And yeah, me personally not. I think our training staff, Mark Pryor, is on top of it too. And I think that, we want to make sure he gets out of here with a net positive and feeling good. And obviously our bullpen is in as good a position as we can be in.
Dave,
is it a lot easier?
Go ahead, Eddie.
Is it a lot easier having Mookie Betts in the leadoff spot instead of the number 2 spot?
Oh, God, it makes me a much better manager. No, but the at-bat quality, the outfield play, the base running, all of that stuff, he's just been great for all of us.
He's going to be with the Dodgers for the next 12 years. Does your crystal ball have you where in 12 years, Dave?
Let me tell you, Mookie's going to be here a lot longer than I am. I'll be in San Diego somewhere with my wife celebrating.
Good. Celebrating the rings. We hope it works out for you. Thanks, Dave, very much.
All right, guys.
All right. Dave Roberts joining us there as Buehler picks up strikeout number 7. And there's a statistic there with Walker Buehler, who has had 7 or more in every appearance that he has made in the postseason. That's the second longest streak, now tied with Curt Schilling in the postseason. Who would you think's ahead of them?
I think Randy Johnson's first.
Good.
He's first on a lot of lists.
Yep. He did it in 9 straight. Good chance Buehler's going to get a chance to pass that this year. Vogelbach the other way. That's a fair ball. And Daniel Vogelbach lumbers into second with a double. Brewers are in this game. It's only a 3-run lead.
And this is what Vogie has been able to provide here. Look how deep he lets this curveball get and just driving it the other way. Outfield playing straight up, infield completely in the shift. A.J. Pollock, the only thing he can do is bring it into the infield, and Vogie definitely in scoring position if a double is hit. Remember, he's got a bad leg to go along with it.
Craig Counsell just raved about him in the clubhouse. He's always talking smack. He's got Yelich really feeling a little calmer about things, so he's added a lot to this club.
Power threat up. Avisail Garcia singled his first time up, and it was 114 off his bat. A little slider there. Eddie, I'm curious, that Vogelbach swing there, he struck out his first time up. Would that be considered an adjustment? Recognizing the curveball the second time through, waiting on it, letting it get deep. Is that an adjustment a hitter made?
No doubt, especially after the last time when he faced him. That's what he also was getting. He got the curveball. He knew he can throw it for a strike. So he made sure this time he looked for something up and was able to deliver a line drive the other way. I mean, last time up he saw 2 knuckle curveballs, one for a ball, one for, and then the other one ended up also for a ball up in the zone. Here's that cutter, 90.
Remember, Lorenzo Cain was on the Brewer team, is on the Brewer team, but opted out. And Craig was asked, how much you miss having Cain around. He said Garcia's doing a really good job in center field, but there are so many intangibles that Cain would bring to this team. A competitive fire, seem to be contagious.
We miss him in the clubhouse more than anything, Counsell said.
That pitch could have had some plate, but Will Smith wanted that pitch up, and it blocked the view of the home plate umpire and was not able to get the call. See him where he wanted it, missed completely down on it at 98.
So the National League bracket looks like this, with the Dodgers the last remaining National League game to be played. The Cardinals jumped the Padres today. San Diego, like Milwaukee, dealing with all sorts of injuries to Clevenger and to Nelson Lamet. The Marlins got a 3-run home run off Kyle Hendricks, rally to win 5-1 over the Cubs. And the Braves and Reds, how many strikeouts?
37 in the game. The Braves struck out 21 times and won.
That ball is hammered to right. Betts going back, makes the catch on the track and throws it back in. Good swing by Avisail Garcia, but it ends up in Mookie Betts' glove.
Well, 2 really good at-bats from Avi against Walker Buehler. Most likely his last time he's going to face Buehler, but even his teammates will let him know a way to swing the bat. First one was right back up the middle. This one drives it to right center field. Outfield playing way deep. Mookie's able to make that play.
Last couple of years, you've grown to really appreciate the shortstop for the Milwaukee Brewers, offensively and defensively.
And his situation is, again, it's more of a mental approach that Orlando Arcia has to be able to have. Again, he's so clutch in big situations. Came up with big hits last year down the stretch for the Milwaukee Brewers, and really good postseason hitter. Sometimes gives away at bats.
And a terrific defensive shortstop.
Really good.
Counsell was telling me last year, he said, it's a shame we have so many walks and so many strikeouts and not enough balls in play because we don't get to watch him play shortstop as much as we would like. That's how good he is.
Appeared in 59 of the 60 games, 52 of those at shortstop. And the 0-2 to Arcia. That ball is ripped to left field. He thinks he may have got it. And he did. A 2-run shot, Orlando Arcia. And just like that, the Brewers are back within a run.
And that's the focus. That's the potential that I was talking about earlier. Postseason, this guy gives you quality at bats all the time. And Orlando with a big home run right there. Creeping up right now on the Dodgers with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. A lot of baseball left. And the Brew Crew celebrating this one. Again, missing his spot. Walker Buehler knows it. Pitched down in the zone, and so does Orlando.
Another reminder, Ravi, these pitchers, when they hit their spots, you just can't center. But when you miss with today's hitters, they don't hit a single to left.
Nope.
They hit a rocket to left center, 10 rows up.
Such an impressive player. Arcia, the shortstop, he delivers a 2-run homer, and just like that, what felt like a very one-sided game from the first inning on is now a 1-run game. 402 feet. That pitch came in at 97.5 miles an hour.
But the only problem was that it left the batter 105.7 miles per hour.
Your point's well taken. Garcia before Arcia, he hit the ball hard. Vogelbach,
really good at bats.
Yeah, Vogelbach got it started with that double. And now he's behind 3-1 to Eric Sogard. Garcia's had success against Buehler. Go back to Game 3 of the NLCS a couple of years ago. That went 7 games. He hit a home run off Buehler. Julio Urias warming now for the Dodgers. Ball 4, so a little different 4th inning compared to the other innings for Walker Buehler.
I wonder why Walker Buehler was asking for that pitch. That ball was a ball, clearly a ball. A little frustration on that mound. Pitch was outside. Rarely see emotion from Buehler on that mound, and after that home run, it's a little bit uncharacteristic from him.
7 strikeouts, and now the go-ahead run comes to the plate. There's a fastball we've seen a lot tonight, 97.
Hira led this team in hits, homers, RBIs. He also led the National League in strikeouts with 85. You miss with him, he'll make you pay, but
challenges him again, and he fouls it off. So here are the other guys that led their team in hits, home runs, and runs batted in. Abreu for the White Sox, Lau for the Rays, and Marcell Ozuna for the Atlanta Braves.
got some MVP candidates on that list.
Sure do. And because of the down year Yelich is having, you see here at the top of those lists. Those are lists generally dominated by Christian Yelich.
Walker Buehler with that blister. Team protecting. He's got some stuff on that finger for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you say, oh, yeah. So he's not supposed to have anything on that finger.
Feels like there's all sorts of crazy glue, etc., keeping that thing together.
Right. Then Rule 6.02C7 says a pitcher may not attach anything to either hand, any finger, or either wrist. Example, Band-Aid, tape, super glue, bracelet, etc. Yet the Milwaukee Brewers have not contested it.
Called strike 3. Alden Gonzalez is at the ballpark after this break. We'll ask him about the treatment of Buehler and the blister. That's strikeout number 8 for Walker tonight, but the big 2-run home run. And we got action, boys and girls, at Chavez Ravine. It's a 1-run game.
It could have been the night already for Walker Buehler, as the LA Dodgers wanted 4 to 5 innings out of him. And now the Milwaukee Brewers putting a lot of pressure on the Dodgers, down 1 in the bottom half of the 4th.
Gotta love the attitude of the Brewers. Their starter tonight, Brent Suter, who had walked 5 this season, albeit a short season, and albeit in limited innings, came out and walked 5 Dodgers. He found himself in a 2-0 hole after 1. It was 3-zip after 2, and the Brewers keep fighting.
And Corbin Burns was supposed to start this game, but he's hurt. Devin Williams is hurt. Lorenzo Cain opted out. And this team just keeps fighting.
Love that. That's a foul ball. Yardley's been terrific since he came on in relief, and we showed that athleticism covering first. And a ball hit to Jed Jerko.
Yeah, that's why any guy that throws from that angle, Yardley, have to think middle away, the other way. If you start trying to pull it, that's what he wants you to do, roll over. You end up rolling over it on your big toe or your ankle. It's going to leave a mark for quite some time.
So Chris Taylor has some interesting numbers. He's hit 189 this year with no one on base, 392 with men on base. He's led off twice tonight, hit a double his first time.
He is such a utility knife for this team. He does everything. Watches one in, 3-1.
I mean, when you have a guy who can play the outfield and the middle infield and can hit, it's absolutely critical in this day and age.
And just watching him over the years, the ball is attracted to him. He's always making plays or in the middle of it, comes up with the big hits. Yardley, a 1.13 ERA over his last 32 appearances. That's dating back to last season. Tough pitch there, fouled off. Good pitch, and that is called strike three from Mark Ripperger, as it was right on the corner, and Taylor retired.
Right field.
I'll tell you this, though. Yardley's come in, and he's done a great job. He's fielded his position, covered first. He's executing the pitches. He's giving his team a chance to come back.
Now the challenge, Mookie Betts, 2 for 2, 2 doubles. Ball won the 2018 AL MVP and the 4-time All-Star. And Alden Gonzalez, who of course is with us, he's at the stadium, 2-0. The impact Mookie Betts has had, I guess it's a community-wide thing, but you tell us what the impact Mookie Betts has had on this franchise.
Carl, his impact has been more than anybody on the Dodgers could have imagined, if you could picture that. I mean, and keep in mind, they obviously hadn't seen him much because he spent his entire career in the American League East. So the summer camp portion begins, and he's taking batting practice, and Dave Roberts is raving because he can't imagine somebody that size with that much raw power. Dino Ebel, their third base coach, recently told me that he can't picture a more perfect base runner. A lot of the pitchers have talked about how that's the best right fielder that's ever played behind them. And keep in mind, they had Yasiel Puig for a long time, was a dynamic player. But I think what Justin Turner said when he was on the broadcast with you guys is also a big part of what Mookie Betts brings. Gavin Lux and Austin Barnes has talked about how he'll see things while they're hitting, and he'll just point it out to them about just sort of things that he notices, and it works. He spoke out on the first day of spring training about just how much the details matter with regards to chasing a championship.
He went, and Yardley strikes out Mookie Betts. Go ahead, Alden.
And the last point is that he has a tendency to just make the mundane, routine sort of drills in spring training and before games, like Justin Turner talked about. He makes those really competitive, and I think he's just sort of heightened the focus of this Dodgers team, which is especially crucial this season when home field advantage doesn't get you much, with no fans in the stands. You've seen a focused Dodgers team throughout this entire season. I think he's been a huge part of that.
So 2 down. Here's Corey Seager. I want to quickly get your thoughts on the blister and how the Dodgers have handled that. And it's one of those things, like most things in 2020, as Seager rolls over. We'll get your answer when we come back. You wouldn't think that a blister would be something that would cause a problem, and yet it is still 8 games today because some series have ended, including the Astros taking care of the Minnesota Twins. There will not be 8 games again tomorrow. Julio Urias is on the mound. You see what he's done in 11 games. A terrific ERA, 3.27. He went 3-0. So Buehler is out. Let's bring Alden Gonzalez back from Dodger Stadium. The decision to take Buehler out and the care of a blister. Let's get into that a little bit and how the Dodgers, how concerned are they?
pretty concerned because Dave Roberts talked about pretty frequently going into this game about how these blisters just sort of pop up whenever. And I wonder how much of today was just sort of a stamina thing as well for Walker. I mean, keep in mind, Carl, that Walker Buehler made basically one appearance over the last 19 days of the regular season, and it was a short outing because they wanted to get him out healthy. And, you know, he got some work in simulated games and controlled environments, but obviously that does not match the intensity of the postseason like we have today. Walker Buehler did recently reach out to Rich Hill, a really important mentor for him in this Dodgers clubhouse, about how to deal with blisters. Rich Hill's obviously spent a big chunk of his career dealing with those blisters, and he walked them through sort of different ways to treat it, how to manage it. But one thing that Walker also talked about was that Rich Hill talked him through just sort of the mentality of the blister, because it's very limiting with the work that you could do between starts. And it's just having the confidence in your stuff when you're out there and you haven't had the work that you normally would get because of that blister.
So Julio Urias is now in. Alden, thank you very much. Jacob Nottingham pinch hitting for Omar Narvaez, the catcher.
Jim Palmer taught me a long time ago, when you have a blister and you can't get that feel on the ball and you can't spin it like you like, that's the difference between getting a guy out and getting hit. So he says people think, oh, you're wimpy for not pitching with a blister. Your fingers as a pitcher are affected. You're in a lot of trouble.
So when you think about it, it would be a really difficult thing to have heal in the middle of the season, because you're constantly having the baseball leave those fingers and you're trying to spin them.
Ravi, back to the pitching here. I mean, this guy would be in the rotation like every fifth day for a lot of teams, and he will be here too. But what a weapon to have him come in the fifth inning with this kind of stuff.
A lot of arrows in the quiver of Dave Roberts. And Urias starts out Nottingham with a strikeout and one down.
Left fielder Christian Yelich.
Now playing on ESPN, the MLB Best of 3 wildcard series. They continue through Friday, plus Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Heat and the Lakers. That's also Friday. You can see that at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on ABC. It's all now playing on ESPN and the ESPN app. Here's Yelich for the third time. He struck out. The fielder's choice.
Rabbi, his average dropped 124 points from last year. That's the biggest drop by a batting champ since Norm Cash in 1962. And that's in part because what he's facing these days in the big leagues. It's so hard to hit.
Yelich hit that one hard, and it's underneath the dive of Chris Taylor. So Yelich is aboard. Read that NBA promo. Probably should have reminded people, if you were just watching baseball, the Lakers did end up hammering the Heat tonight. Game 1, 116-98 of the NBA Finals, and now lead it 1-0.
Number 15, Tyrone Taylor.
So Yelich aboard. Braun being pinch hit for Tyrone Taylor. Wonder if Braun may have done something to himself, fielding a ball. This is their number 2 hitter in the lineup in the 5th inning of a 1-run game being taken out.
Right, with a left-hander on the mound also, so let's hope he's okay. And Tyrone Taylor was getting plenty of at-bats down the stretch, so good opportunity for him to see here, but a huge loss for the Milwaukee Brewers. Ryan Braun swinging the bat really well in the last few weeks of the season.
Ball misses. Again, we're speculating. We're not there. You don't know. But if there is something that's preventing Braun from playing, the dominoes just keep falling here on Craig Counsell. It's becoming a little bit unnerving how many guys he's lost to injury.
A little bit unfair with everyone he's lost.
It certainly is. Good rip right there from Taylor as he fouls it straight back.
He was joking that he hasn't had a haircut since the season began. And when he takes his hat off, his hair is giant because he's pulling out his hair these days, losing all his best players.
You look at what Ryan Braun was able to do this season against left-handed pitching, 298. OPS of 670.
Wow. Tomahawk chopped that thing, but it's foul. So this was Ryan Braun making that catch earlier against the wall.
Sure looks like an injury. I mean, you don't take a guy with a 337 lifetime average in the postseason out in the 5th inning against a left-handed pitcher.
Well, he missed some time also with some back issues. You hope that he's okay from that.
Dealt with some back stiffness earlier in September. While it's a 1-run game here in the 5th, the Cleveland Indians over on ESPN have just tied the game up against the Yankees. It's now 8-8 in the 7th inning. We had the Astros-Twins game today, and we finished starting an hour later than the Braves-Reds game, which ended up, 13 innings? 13 innings?
Yeah.
14 innings? 13?
Longest scoreless game in postseason history today.
But the Braves finally won. Freddie Freeman knocking in the winning run. 37 strikeouts in that game. So here we are opposite another game that is tied late, 8-8. 2-2 to Taylor. Trying to get a fastball by him, and he stays alive.
Believe it or not, the Indians won a postseason game in '97, striking out 21 times like the Braves did today. And the Orioles won a postseason game in '96, striking out 23 times. So it wasn't the first time that's ever happened.
Two homers, 8 RBIs on the season, 22 games for number 15, Taylor. Called back up September 1st from the alternate site, and he chases one high.
Hugo of Hair by Hugo believes every customer deserves the personal touch. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I believe Hugo's business does too.
With insurance designed for your small business, the Buck's got your back.
Justin Toppa, the right-hander, warming for the Brewers if Yardley's night is over. Here's Jed Jerko. Interesting route to the major leagues for that guy right there. Independent league. Signed, cut.
Right. Throws 98.
Called strike.
I like that sudden look of the hitters when they know it's a ball, but what can you do? Just strike one, you still have 2 more to deal with. Good old philosophy is one's for the pitcher, one's for the umpire, and one's for me, the hitter.
Good pitch, another strike.
That one's for the pitcher. Good pitch.
Don't forget, Yelich can steal a base. Very good base runner, very good base stealer, rarely gets caught.
Jerko sends this one sky high. Bellinger in center field is under it, and they are done in the top of the 5th. When we come back, after Urias walks off, Turner, Muncy, and Will Smith. A great bullpen. Take a look at the bracket on the left side as Justin Turner looks at first pitch from Justin Topa, who's now on in relief. 8-8 there. Astros eliminate the Twins. White Sox lose to the A's, so that game will have a winner-take-all game 3. Turner, Goodwood, left field, running back, and Yelich made it look a little easier than it may have been. He makes the catch, and Turner is retired on a line shot.
First baseman, let's see.
Tyrone Taylor's gone in to play right field. No more Ryan Braun. Nottingham is now behind the plate, and Justin Topa is on the mound. He last pitched Sunday. He had 3 stints with his team, end of August through early September, and then on the 14th of September and 9/16 September to the end. Major League debut was back on the 1st of September against the Tigers.
No walks, 12 strikeouts, and a sinker at 98.
29-year-old independent ball. Had a stint, it was the Rangers. Then they said, see ya. So rather than give up, he went back to independent ball, and he's got himself a spot. And the Brewers, given the injuries, are going to rely on him.
Again, this is what's so beautiful about baseball. This guy has banged around, and here he is pitching in game 1 of the playoffs.
Oof, that is filthy at 97. Late movement.
Late action, good location, and sometimes it's just to find the right fit, right organization, correct message. You have the stuff, now the ability to be able to locate. Craig Counsell's going to have to lean on him big time, especially without Devin Williams in their bullpen.
Slow roller. Garcia throws him out. Good start so far for Justin Topa. Hey, call the shots during postseason games and compete for cash prizes with MLB Rally, a new free-to-play game where you make at-bat predictions in real time. Download MLB Rally app. Restrictions apply. See official rules, MLB.com/rally. Here's Will Smith. Interesting wrinkle from Topa.
We asked Craig Counsell before the game, give us one of your young arms that we don't know everything about. He goes, where do you see this guy?
Beaten on the ground. Great inning for Justin Topa as that throw is made. Won't see Braun again. He's got mid-back discomfort. So he series in 2017 and 2018. Lost to both. That was the Astros and the Red Sox. Last World Series title came back in 1988. That's a long drought. 32 years for a team that has got so much talent.
And 18 franchises have won the World Series since the Dodgers last won. Just to tell you how things have changed, when they won in 88, they hit a total of 99 homers the whole season. And this year, in 60 games, they hit 118.
Yeah. The superlatives on the regular season are off the charts for that guy, Dave Roberts. Justin Topa looked really good for the Brewers, and now Urias back for another inning. Daniel Vogelbach, Avisel Garcia, Orlando Arcia.
Last at bat, Vogelbach hit a curveball the other way against Walker Buehler. This time left on left, advantage Urias.
late there, and Vogelbach has been dealing with a quad issue. They got some encouraging news on it, probably better than they had thought they were going to get. He strikes out for the second time tonight. You can get authentic caps, tees, jerseys, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear and cheer on your team at home with the official source, MLBshop.com. Here's Avisail Garcia. For a while with the White Sox, there was so much talk about his ability and potential. You were just waiting for that to blossom through. He's a specimen on the field. He seems to have found a home here in Milwaukee. A jam there.
He's hit the ball hard twice tonight.
Little cut right there, got in on him. That'll be a souvenir. Most likely he'll be able to go get it at Brewers.com.
Eddie, when someone broke your bat, did you take it personally? Did it upset you?
Are you kidding? If it was a broken bat base hit, I took it every time. That bat would die a warrior. No, not at all. It's part of the game.
Another thing that was part of the game in 2020, Eddie, have been injuries, and certainly it was affecting Garcia about a month ago. He was dealing with a hamstring. So many players in the shortened season, whether it had to do with the fits and starts of getting this thing rolling, have come down with a variety of injuries. And now with so many games back-to-back, although when you sweep like we've seen the wild card, the Astros don't play again until Monday. Rays, I think they don't play again until Monday. Tampa Bay, back-to-back really good starts. Glasnow today, Snell yesterday. They move on to the division series to get the winner of the Yankees and the Indians.
Ravi, just look at the starting pitching we've seen in the last 2 days. Glasnow.
Trevor Bauer was crazy
Garrett
good today.
Cole last night.
Cole.
Trevor Bauer today.
Reed.
Giolito. And even though Shane Bieber wasn't particularly good.
How about the bullpen work of the Astros? Framber Valdez, Christian Javier today. Garcia, little blooper. That one's going to drop. Once he had no play. Now he kicks it away from himself. And that's going to allow Garcia to get into scoring position. That's a mistake for Mac Muncy with Mookie Betts right there to pick it up.
And he's mad at himself. Again, a bleeder, good pitch by Urias. Gets right in the hands of Avi. Outfield playing normal depth, no chance right there for Mookie. Then he kicks it away and Avi hustling through. See him on the background there of the picture. Once it kicks away from him, he takes off towards second base.
And a good hitter up, Orlando Arcia, who homered his last time up. First pitch, breaking ball at 81 in there for a strike. To 92. Probably Eddie felt a little quicker than that after that 81-mile-an-hour pitch.
Absolutely in good location, up right there. We've seen him do two things since he's been ahead. He either goes again up in the zone, or he'll come back with that sweeping breaking pitch. Way in. Now he has to show him something different. Has to go right back up. Mookie Betts most likely taking a couple steps in with 2 strikes. Gets the tendency of jamming a lot of right-handed hitters. We saw it earlier with Avi, even though that was a breaking pitch that he got jammed on.
4-time Gold Glover out there in right field. Betts. One down, Garcia off second. Fooled him, and Arcia strikes out. Second time he is struck out.
That's filthy. 80.7 miles per hour. Good break on that one. Urias showing really good command with that breaking stuff.
Gotta think here. Josh Hader is healthy. If the Brewers can grab a lead, then you have that weapon still in that bullpen. What that could mean. Good pitch called, ball 1 to Eric Sogard. That's in there for a strike, right? I mean, that's got to be one of the things that's going on in the mound of Craig Counsell. If you're down, do you use Hader in game 1? If it's 1 run, do you not, Eddie? What do you do?
I don't.
You leave him until you get a lead.
Or a tie.
Or a tie.
But not behind. And you have to look at what part of the lineup is coming up for you also to see if you want to have a hold on that tie. Again, you have to look at all the leverage.
Counsell did say before the game he's going to be more aggressive and use Hader a little earlier than usual, in part because Devin Williams is not here.
Right. Devin Williams, who had struck out 53 of the 100 guys he faced, woke up on Saturday and he was sore. It wasn't something that they had sort of discovered last week or even earlier. It was a Saturday morning wake-up call when he was in pain and not on the roster in the wild card series. The 1-2, good block behind plate by Will Smith.
Williams had the highest strikeout rate in Major League history for anyone who pitched at least 20 innings. So to strike out 53% of the batters, allow 1 run the entire season, and that changeup that no one can hit. Hitters went 2 for 62 off of his changeup. It spins so fast it'll cut your shirt. It's amazing.
Two outs, 2-2 pitch. Fouls it off. The part of the Williams story, which in some ways makes you think, like, what is Topa going to turn into? Devin Williams' spring training was like not really on the roster. He wasn't going to make the team. Then they break. He comes back in the summer and he looks much better. And because of the shortened season and the number of pitches, well, then we're going to keep him on the team. But back in the spring, he wasn't even going to be on the club.
Again, the beauty of baseball, Ravi, this doesn't happen in the NBA where some guy comes from the D League and is suddenly the best three-point shooter in the league. It doesn't work that way.
Nope, off. 3-2.
Well, right now, Sogard's had some really good takes against Urias, even on the breaking pitch before that and the fastball now. See him not flinch at all. Product of Arizona State. Nice take right there by Sogi.
Urias will go to first himself as he gets Sogard. Garcia stranded at second. Well, Read into what you want. Josh Hader is tying his shoes as we go to break. Tying his shoes. Wild Card Series is presented by Hankook Tire. Well, we've never done October like this before, and that means anything can happen. MLB's got you covered on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So far, we've seen a lot happening all across this country, from East Coast to West Coast, as teams play on their home fields, and then it's off to bubbles. American League Division Series will be played in National League parks, and National League Division Series in American League parks. Houston and Texas, San Diego and Dodger Stadium. Not lost on people that the Astros will be going back to Dodger Stadium to play the next round. Bellinger a swing and a miss.
So, Ravi, 6 years ago, Lance Berkman told me, he said, every night now, someone comes out of the bullpen throwing 95 miles an hour, and I've never even heard of it. That's where it all started, and now it happens every night. And this kid's a perfect example.
Like what Topa's doing, keeping that ball down. That's where his strength is, with that power sinker that he has. Let the defense work behind him.
Hard to keep this team in the yard. We've seen doubles from Betts, 2 of them, and Taylor. Bellinger got good wood on that one, and it drops in front of Tyrone Taylor. So the leadoff man aboard here as Bellinger picks up his first hit.
Give us the fall frenzy. It's a postseason we've never seen before.
Anything can happen.
Give us the Wild Card Series. Continues tomorrow on ESPN and ABC.
That's my favorite one of those because of the live read drop in where Tim, you can hear him say, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Tim can add.
Tim can add. Can you hear me? All part of the 2020 pandemic season. A.J. Pollock, a walk, and he flew out to center.
Brewer bullpen had retired all 10 batters they faced until Bellinger hit off. Line drive to right.
Eric Yardley, terrific. Justin Topa, so far so good.
And this is the part of the game now where the Dodgers separate themselves from everyone else. From the 6th to the 8th inning, they scored 130 runs. Only allowed 67.
Ball and glove met Bellinger's midsection at the same time he met the base. Pollock over his career, especially the last couple of years, has been an extra base hit machine. Like almost half his hits seemingly on a yearly basis had been for extra bases. Topa gets that one on the ground. Arcia, Kira, double play. They get A.J. Pollock, and a nice job by the Brewers to turn it as Topa does what he does best. Gets that ball down and causes the ground into a double play.
Not only does it get it down, it's that late sink action to it. See right there, Pollock hits the ball hard, and by doing so, makes it a lot easier for that double play to happen.
And perfect feed here third from Arcia.
So 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Interesting development going on in that New York-Cleveland game. So the Indians, and this is just a broader baseball discussion, the Indians have 2 men on in the 8th and nobody out. 8th inning, and Aroldis Chapman has come into the game for the Yankees. On the road, tie game, 8th inning, 2 on, nobody out. Aaron Boone is called on Aroldis Chapman. That game on ESPN. Edwin Rios bats ahead 1-0.
All the rules go out the window in October, especially in a 3-game series.
I love the decisions. I love the way that the guys manage these games, different styles.
Putting the decision over there in Sandy Alomar to see if he bunts Cesar Hernandez or not. Tough to bunt. 100.
Oh, that's a tough pitch. And if he's going to get that, Topa is in great shape tonight.
97. Down and away.
Well, the Aroldis Chapman thing didn't work. Cesar Hernandez just blooped a single into left field. The Indians lead it 9-8. You'll see it in a moment. The 1-2 misses away.
Low target there by Nottingham. Behind the plate, making sure that Topa keeps that ball down, especially against the good power of Rios at the plate.
Two outs and Topa ready to deliver to Edwin Rios. 3-2 foul ball. Think about all the moves that Craig Counsell has made already in this game. With the pinch hitting, with the injuries, with the bullpen. Really engaging guy to talk to, fun guy to speak to when you get a chance to on these Zoom calls. You could kind of talk to him for hours, knowing he has no time to do that, but he's so interesting. Inside, ball 4.
Second baseman Chris Taylor.
He's already managing the next inning. He's thinking about the possible matchups that he's going to get, not only in the 6th, but not only in the bottom of the 7th inning, but also the 8th.
So Chris Taylor's first at bat with a runner on base. Again, 392 this year with runners on, 189 with the bases empty. This is his spot.
Nottingham gets a new catcher's glove. Taylor's numbers up across the board this year. 270, 366 on base, 842 OPS.
And hitting ninth.
Hitting ninth with 8 homers and 32 RBI.
And a bunch of good hitters on the bench.
A bunch of them.
It's a heck of a take. Ball starts out right in the zone and then just runs right out of it.
That's a good one there. Evens it up 1-1. With a hanger there. Topa may not be long for the game as you take a look at the Brewer bullpen. Alex Claudio, left-hander warming.
Another funky delivery.
It's part of the resume application. You have to have funky delivery to be in the Brewer pen.
Half the battle, deception.
Hiding the baseball.
Disrupt the timing.
1-2 to Taylor, trying to get through the sixth. Just look at the location of these pitches. None of them are basically above the knees. .43 wins and 17 losses is basically a 116 game win pace over the course of 162.
Again, shortened season, but the 54 Indians were the last team to have a winning percentage this high at the end of the season. Again, the 44 Cardinals were the last team to lead the major leagues in homers and have the lowest ERA. That's how you lead at ERA and hit the ball out of the ballpark.
That helps.
Pretty good combination.
Going to win some games. Two Taylor, Goodwood, right center field, going back and making the play. Avisail Garcia. And it's a one-run game. Numbers may be down as far as average, etc., but Christian Yelich, when you're hitting the ball 94 on average, right behind Tatis Jr., ahead of Mike Trout, you're generally going to have more success. And as Craig Counsell said, the Cardinal series to end the season, he hit the ball really well. He's got a hit tonight. He's batting third this inning.
Yeah, and that hit was 104 miles per hour. They just need him to elevate it now.
Both bullpens, and I understand that one of them is Julio Urias, and the Brewers have used a couple of guys out of the pen in Topa and Yardley. They've both been really good tonight as Urias deals with Keston Hiura. And twice he's chased that high fastball. He's behind 0-2. Blake Trinan warms in the Dodger pen, and looks like Freddie Peralta warming in the Brewers. Another one high, and this one fouled straight back. Will Smith gives a look. He sees the cardboard cutouts and says no.
What did Justin Turner say tonight? That they would throw the ball at the
cardboard cutouts.
Down the clown, is that what he called it?
Yeah. A.J. Pollock, he picks it up, fires it at those cardboard cutouts. He's playing down the clown. Probably have to spend some time figuring out ways to entertain yourself, for sure. When the entire crowd isn't there, which is a source of entertainment for the players, trust us.
I still can't get over that Justin Turner was speaking to us during a playoff game with an IFB in his ear.
Hiura just underneath it, and he popped it up. Pollock is there. You mentioned Turner wearing the microphone and having a conversation. Let's take a look back at some of that.
Keep an eye on AJ when he has to go get those balls down the left field line. He throws them about 100 miles an hour at those cardboard cutouts in left field. He's like playing down a clown out there.
Confirmed down a clown.
This personalizes and humanizes the players more than anything when they wear a mic and just show everyone that you can have fun playing this game.
And again, and it's not for everyone. I mean, this is sort of like the tennis thing or the golf thing. There are certain golfers, when you get a chance to know some of them and they play with each other, they're yelling in backswings. They're doing everything. They're talking. They don't care. And then there are others who will literally look at you if you sneeze, as it disrupts concentration. Same for baseball players.
And the more you play with them, each individual, you get to know their personalities. You know who you can approach, who you can't approach. Justin Turner, he's one of the ones that you can. Mookie Betts, definitely you can.
Nottingham. That's the second out. And another strikeout for Julio Urias.
And Carl, you're absolutely right. You talk about the bullpens. They've come in and they've been able to execute, throw strikes, keep this a close ball game. After the starters gave up a total of 5 runs, that's how it's remained. Great job by Julio Urias, along with Eric Yardley and Justin Topa.
And here comes Christian Yelich. Ball off bat, 94 plus miles an hour. Got a hit his last time up. Misses there. And with 2 outs here, just a reminder, over on ESPN, 9th inning, the Yankees. First 2 men aboard against Brad Hand as the Indians try to close out this one and even the series up at 1-1. Outside. Yelich did not finish the season on a high note. 2 hits in his last 22 at-bats.
3 RBIs in his last 19 games, and they were all on home runs.
But Counsell said earlier that this is as good as Yelich has looked through the course of the entire season. As short as the season has been, he said he has never looked better.
He's been more patient this year, even though he's always been patient, but by not swinging as often, he's been getting behind in the count. Too many 2-strike counts. Hit 8 homers on the first pitch last year, only 1 this year. Again, much shorter season.
1-2 set up inside, and that one is down the line. That's a fair ball. So Christian Yelich adds to his hit total tonight. That's his second. And Counsell was onto something, saying Yelich is dialed in a little bit. Another hard hit ball for Christian Yelich.
This one up in the zone, he lets it travel and he hits and barrels it the other way. Again, this is where Urias has been successful. He hits his spot. He executes his pitch. The problem is Christian Yelich beat him to that spot. Nicely done. Driving it the other way now. Runner in scoring position. No Ryan Braun.
Travis Shaw told me a few years ago, bat to ball, he's the best hitter I've ever played with. And there's another example. That was not an easy pitch to fight off, but he served it down the line where nobody was playing.
Tying runners at second base against Urias and with Tyrone Taylor. Braun left this game with some mid-back discomfort after banging into the wall. Looked like one of those plays where you didn't really hit the wall that hard, but you hit it in a way that it caused your back to seize up on you. So a big spot for Taylor, who's been inserted into the number 2 spot in the lineup. Swings at the first one and fouls it back. Popped up and playable. Yelich is sprinting, and Turner is ignoring it. He makes the play. Urias gets out of it. The rest of the team has got 2 hits. So it's been Mookie Betts offensively and the bullpen for the Dodgers that has got them a 3-2 lead.
This is Mookie's 92nd postseason at bat, and he's got 1 homer, and it's off Clayton Kershaw, his teammate.
In Dodger Stadium. Freddie Peralta, the new pitcher for the Brewers.
Ravi, when we talk about that historic strikeout rate by the bullpen of the Brewers this year, Freddie Peralta's all over that too. 29 1/3, 47 strikeouts.
47. Saw that like a rise ball from Peralta to even the count at 1-1. It's interesting, they had the tying run at second, and there's no Josh Hader movement in the bullpen. So how quickly he can get ready if the Brewers are ever able to tie or get the lead is interesting to see when Counsell goes to that one. That's got some of the K zone, but called a ball. There's Hader.
And Freddie Peralta gets good extension also on the release point. Way out in front, the velocity might just be 93 to 93.3 miles per hour, but that extension goes all the way out to 7.5 feet. Comparison, for example, to Urias, who was more at 5.7 feet. You go to Topa, he was around a 6 feet extension. You're looking at an added 12 inches.
Which is a ton, right, as a hitter?
Oh, big time.
Two-two. Mookie turns this one around deep to left field, and it is caught by Yelich just in front of the wall. The ballpark holds Betts, and he's retired for the first out.
Shortstop, number 5.
Got in on him just a tad. Almost was able to muscle it out of Dodger Stadium. Watch where this ball hits. Brings in the hands as much as he can, just right above the label. But tight to the bottle, leverages as much as he can off this one. Christian Yelich gets there just in time. 93.5 miles per hour off the bat.
First pitch to Seager misses. Bring Alden Gonzalez back in from Dodger Stadium just to talk about the season Seager is having, and I'll preface it by saying Dave Roberts told us before the season started, just keep an eye on Corey Seager.
Yeah, it seemed like most of the public outside of Los Angeles seemingly forgot about Corey Seager, obviously with Mookie Betts coming on and the season Cody Bellinger had. But he's proven this year that he's back among the best young shortstops in the game like he was a couple of years ago. And I think the big key for him has been he's more than a full year removed from that hip surgery that he had. And he talked recently about how he just feels physically stronger this year, and how that's manifested itself is that he feels like as last year wore on, his body sort of maybe broke down a little bit, and because his body wasn't strong enough to hold up to the rigors of a full season, he feels like maybe that kind of had an impact on him sort of tweaking his mechanics throughout the year in ways that maybe he didn't even realize. And this year, because he's stronger, because he's further removed from that hip surgery, he feels like his body could just sort of hold up and his mechanics can be sound. And, Dave Roberts talked recently about how his top half and his bottom half are much better synced up. And that's why you're just seeing so much more consistency with Corey Seager's mechanics, with his swing. I've watched him all year, Carl, and it seems like he's barreled up basically every pitch that he's seen.
Yeah, that's what Dave said. He's hit it harder than anybody, and this one is hit hard. Straight away center field, and that is deep, and that is gone. That's Corey Seager all season long as he hits his 16th of the year, and he gives the Dodgers a cushion. They now lead it 4-2.
I don't know who feels better, if it's Seager or if it's Mr. Gonzalez up in the booth. Good call about barreling it. Pitch right down the middle. Peralta challenging Seager. and he gets all of that. Dodgers used to seeing this. Alden is absolutely right. Strong bottom half, gets that foot down. And we saw Seager coming up all healthy. He was barreling almost everything, center field to left center.
And he did that on a 2-2 pitch. He's hit 278 with 2 strikes this year. That's the highest among National League qualifiers. Just another reminder, when really good hitters are going, they can hit with 2 strikes. And he was talking about the lower half, Dave Roberts was, that he looks like Juan Soto in the lower half, which is a tremendous compliment.
Peralta knew it. Pitchers will give the tell on a ball that's hit really hard. And while Betts was in the ballpark, Seegers leaves the ballpark. I think maybe some people outside of baseball might have forgotten about how good Corey Seager was. I always find it to be a really interesting conversation, especially with Betts there. Who is the best player on the team? And is Mookie that much better than Seager, who in his prime that much better than Bellinger? Like, I always thought he was as good, if not the best shortstop in in baseball when he was playing at that height of his career. And that was, what, 3 years ago?
Before the injuries. Yes.
Before the injuries. I thought he was as good a player as it was in the major leagues.
And he's still young.
Remember, his rookie year, he came up right in the middle of a pennant race.
Yeah.
And went straight into the playoffs. And I had one of the Dodgers tell me, so the guy's played 15 major league games. He's the second best hitter on our team.
Well, you're about to see that score in the upper right-hand part of the screen change from 9-9 to 10-9 as the Yankees are able to get to Brad Hand, who is on to close it. DJ LeMahieu just delivered the go-ahead run, and it's New York 10, Cleveland 9. And Hand is coming out of the game with 2 outs in the top of the 9th, and runners at second and third. 2 down here, and a 2-1 pitch called strike. Peralta fires one right past Max Muncy.
So Muncy has 4 career homers at Dodger Stadium in the postseason. So does Justin Turner. Jock Peterson has 5. Steve Garvey has 5. But the most homers in the postseason ever hit are by Reggie Jackson, who never played for the Dodgers.
Oof, filthy. But Peralta walks off by punching that glove because he got punched by that guy. Corey Seager having a terrific year. Gives the Dodgers a little breathing room. They lead it 4-2 after his home run. Brought to you by Geico back here. Corey Seager's home run traveled 447 feet. There have been 97 home runs hit at Dodger Stadium this year. That's the longest home run hit at Dodger Stadium this season.
Shortstop, 447 feet.
Gave all that love to Mookie Betts as the guy that had done the damage, and instead it's Corey Seager who delivers. It's Blake Trinan now. He's got a 2-run lead to start the top of the 8th inning.
Another guy with a really good hard sinker. Tremendous movement on virtually everything.
See those numbers, has experience closing with the Athletics and All-Star a couple years ago. Had some injuries, and now the Dodgers have put him in this situation to hand the ball to Kenny Jensen.
And the Dodgers believe they have a deeper bullpen than at any time in the last few years, and this is one reason why.
Sure.
You better have a deep bullpen this postseason.
He went there 2-2. It's not universal, and certainly we've seen in years past Hall of Famers, especially a guy like Trevor Hoffman, that you can get outs without power. But just think of what we've seen over the first couple of days with bullpens. Brad Hand doesn't throw 97. We saw Sergio Romo the other day blow a game for the Twins. Granted, there was an error involved. But do you both want power at the end of a game on the mound?
I'll take power at the beginning, end, middle. I mean, that's what the game has really become. Especially, but you're right. At the end of the game, finesse does not give you consistency. You want that swing and miss potential.
And that's a little bit of a question mark, is it not, with Kenley Jansen and the Dodgers? A little bit of a question mark?
I think it's a big question mark.
Jerko flies out into the glove of Bellinger.
What's he gonna chase? The slider? Nah. The changeup? Oh, I've got it. Curveball. Never halfway.
Hankook Tire.
I think the fact that everybody that you see come out of the bullpen, and when you say everybody, it's hypothetical. Most of the guys that come out of the bullpen, that's why David Ortiz said, I'm leaving baseball even though I can still hit. I'm not going to deal with people that all throw 99 miles an hour. It does magnify the ones that don't. And Vogelbach pops this one up. Betts is there for the second out. Doesn't it magnify the guys that don't do that?
Yeah. I heard a story last year about a minor league third baseman who caught a foul pop-up to end an inning, and his pitcher came up to him. There was nobody on base, and told him, why didn't you drop that ball? I needed you to drop that ball on purpose because I had this guy 0-2 and strike him out. Because that's how you get to the big leagues, is by striking people out. And it's a bit of a concern for me that hitting the ball out of the ballpark is all our hitters are trying to do, and striking people out is all our pitchers are trying to do. But Eddie's right. That's what people are looking for. Power arms that miss bats.
I gotta believe there'd be a nice combo of some efficient pitchers who are not afraid of contact, who still have power, because the strikeouts tend to increase the amount of pitches you throw. There's a shift hit for Avisail Garcia. Kind of deserves it the way he's hitting the ball tonight. He's third hit of the night.
Shortstop number 3, Orlando.
It's all about product placement for Avi this evening. Besides that first 114 mile per hour pitch line drive that he hit, the other one was a bleeder right over the head of Max Muncy, and this one with the shift finds a hole. He knows they need to get on base to bring the tying run up to the plate. And this man that already has a home run, that both runs driven in have been by Orlando Arcia.
See, it's not fair, Eddie, to have you say Orlando's name the way you say it, because then when Tim or I say it, it doesn't have the same inflection, doesn't have the same roll.
Oh, Arcia. I'm sorry. Orlando Arcia.
Well, I like it better the way you I like it the way you say it.
I love it when Eddie speaks Spanish during the game. Like, he's so passionate.
Play-by-play, Eddie.
Oh, yeah. Right there, you saw it. Pitch was supposed to be up, instead down. You wanted me to go Spanish on it? No chance. Get Ernesto Jerez. The best home run calls ever.
Oof, Arcia gone as Trinan strikes him out.
There's that downward movement that is just not fair.
If it didn't hit dirt, it'd be 17 feet under the ground. And the Brewers, too. Wild Card Series is presented by Hankook Tire. Never halfway. Kenley Jansen has the baseball. He's warming up in the Dodger bullpen as Los Angeles bats in the bottom of the 8th. Game 1, best of 3 wild card series between these two teams. And it's Stu Rasmussen who's on the mound. for the Brewers. So you didn't see Hader tonight. So obviously in a game 2, you talk about aggressive. It'll be fascinating to see when Greg Counsell goes to Hader. I mean, you can't go through 2 games and not use him, right?
Have to.
Do you start him?
No. You got Brandon Woodruff tomorrow. He's really good.
Yep.
His bullpen has been.
They've been very good.
Pretty darn good. He's got weapons, and this guy's, despite a high ERA, he's got 21 strikeouts in 15 innings, just threw 98.
I'll tell you this, Milwaukee Brewers, if they can come back, tie this game, bottom of the 9th, you bring in Josh Hader. Don't think about it twice. Right now, you can't do it when you're down by 1 or 2 runs, as we are right now, 4-2.
'98.
Just another
pencil it in.
Middle reliever throwing gas.
Next one to Will Smith. 2-2. Good luck with the 99 away and down. And there's a look that will say like,
Center field, number 35.
Nope. Not tonight. Will Smith checks out. Here comes Bellinger.
Tip your cap. Tip your cap right here, right on the corner. 99 miles per hour. Not much you can do with that.
Look at that.
He's going to look at it on replay and say, ooh, that was closer than what I thought.
That ball's away. So, Tim, I thought you were going to bring up the fact that the average run differential that the Dodgers have beaten teams by is only in comparison to the 39 Yankees and the 27 Yankees, right? 2 of the greatest teams of all time.
Exactly. The 39 Yankees outscored their opponents by 411 runs. 411. And the second best is the 27 Yankees. And only 5 teams have ever outscored their opponent by over 2 runs per game, and none since World War II. Again, we've only played 60 games, but this is a historic outscoring of the opponent that the Dodgers are doing this year. 411 runs in 154 games.
27 Yankees, of course, were the Ruth 60 home runs and the Gehrig, and then the 39 Yankees were the DiMaggio, Bill Dickey teams. Like, these are ridiculously great teams, and that's the type of run differential the Dodgers have put up. I don't know whether you ascribe it to the season that we've had, which is a different season, to the, like, would that have been the way over 162? You don't know the answer to that question.
Right. My guess is they would not have broken the record by the 39 Yankees. 411, I don't think was going to fall, but after 60, they were in the conversation. That's a funny stat. The Marlins got outscored by 41 runs this year and made the playoffs and won today.
Have a 1-0 lead over the Cubs. Big home run from Corey Dickerson. 3-2 to Bellinger. Fastball popped up. Garcia makes the play. Indians down to their last out as Chapman has got 2 strikes and 2 outs. Major League Baseball encouraging fans to take an active role in their communities and make a plan to vote this election season. Visit MLB.com/vote to learn more. If the Yankees win tonight, the Indians will be eliminated from the postseason. Another year that Francisco Lindor will not get a chance to play on the biggest stage.
You have to wonder, is this his last game for the Indians if they lose here?
That one's going to the gap, and it gets down. And A.J. Pollock is into second with a double.
Yankees hold on. They'll be facing the Rays.
Yep.
They're 2-8 against the Rays this year. How great would that series be? Go to second.
Dodgers will likely use a couple of different guys at the DH spot.
This is why I'm okay with the universal DH. You can move it around, get a guy off his feet for the day, keep some people healthier. I mean, it's coming no matter what. We might as well just put it in.
I have not even, and in spite of that, I mean, you could certainly have an opinion on it. I haven't heard a lot of managers, National League, say they don't like it. I think the idea that you're not risking your pitcher injury, it's more offense. I haven't said. Dave Roberts certainly came out and said he likes it.
Good swing there. Rasmussen continues to throw BBs.
Another good job by Nottingham behind home plate. Yelich, we talked about average exit velocity. You go a little further down the list, not much further, you're going to find Edwin Rios' name. He's in the lower 90s as far as exit velocity goes.
Eight homers and 76 at bats.
Another 2-2. Nope. And another good block.
Tell you what, Nottingham back there, he's keeping everything in front of him. Every catching coach in the country's got to look at this one right here. Straddles it. Keeping it in front of him. 2 already in this at-bat.
Threw it right down Broadway at 99 miles an hour. Good at bat from Rios, and any runs would be a benefit for the Dodgers.
Right down the middle, too.
Kenley Jansen continues to stay loose and warm for Los Angeles in the bullpen. Rasmussen gets it done, so it'll be a 2-run deficit when Kenley Jansen comes into the game. Dodger closer charged with getting them game 1 of the wild card series. Angeles. Walker Buehler started. Julio Urias came in and was great. The Brewers are without so many of their key parts, but we saw their bullpen do a heck of a job after their starter really struggled. We got a chance to watch Brent Suter, who had allowed 5 walks this season, issue 5 walks in the game, and they were in it until that home run made it 4-2. Now Kenley Jansen on the mound trying to close it. Tim Kirchen, Eduardo Perez, Carl Ravitch after the Yankees just beat the Indians 10-9 to win that series 2-0.
So where's the last game going?
We're the last game going.
8 playoff games today.
And some defensive changes. So Kike Hernandez, second base. Chris Taylor, the Swiss Army knife, has moved into left field where A.J. Pollock was. And many of these guys, Taylor, Kike, would be everyday players on so many teams. Kenley gets this one up in the air, and Bellinger is there for the first out of the 9th inning. After the game at SportsCenter from Los Angeles, Stan and Neil. Stephen A is going to be on to react to Game 1 of the Lakers drubbing of the Heat. Yeah, the Yankees win the marathon. And highlights and reactions to all 8 of the Major League games today. 8 wild card games, 7 of which were on ESPN, and what a day it was for the company and for baseball, and certainly for, I know, us who got a chance to enjoy 2 of these great games.
Greatest day of my life, I know that.
That says a lot, Tim.
He keeps going back to that well. He's going to get burned by it once. He's going to go home, and Kathy's going to look at him and say, "Did you say that was the greatest day of your life?"
Not once or twice, but 3 times.
Don't qualify it. You declared it greatest day of my life.
Well, it didn't cost me $300,000.
Ouch! That's in reference to the.
No.
Well, you can't just throw it out there. I mean, Eddie, you know what that was in reference to? That extravaganza that we attended last summer. And the great Kelly Kirkchen
wonderful
was married.
extravaganza.
Yes, it was wonderful. Apparently it was expensive. You know who you can borrow money from? Dusty. Dusty told us earlier today, actually it was earlier yesterday, but told us that he had a lot of money because he was not spending it because he was just in the hotel room. He couldn't go out to the restaurants. So
he looked in his pocket and goes, "This is the same money that was here yesterday."
I think Carlos Correa already asked him for a loan.
Yeah. One down to the 9th, Jansen to Keston Hiura, and that's on the ground. And Hiura is thrown out by Seager.
And Ravi Jansen, of course, is a critical part of this team because he's the closer. And if he can be Kenley Jansen of, say, a few years ago, dominant closer, and had a nice little comeback year this year, then they really don't have a weakness on this club.
Well, and it's fitting right now. You come in 7, 8, and 9, who you have to face with a 2-run lead, able to get both outs. First 2 guys out. Now you get a pinch hitter come up to the plate. Phillips.
This is 2-0.
the Brewers, who were not over 500 at any point this season, trying to avoid dropping under 500 in this series.
Jansen does not want to walk Jace Peterson. The guy on deck is the very dangerous Christian Yelich, who has reached base 3 times tonight. Last 2 at bats, a single and a hard hit double. 3-0, 3-1.
Remember, no Ryan Braun, left the game with tightness in his back, and he would be hitting behind Christian Yelich. Now that Tyrone Taylor is hitting behind him, so it would be very interesting to see how Jansen, if Yelich were to hit, would approach him.
Didn't want to do that. That's a walk, and here comes Christian Yelich.
22, Christian Yelich.
One of the best hitters in the game.
There is.
Tying run at the plate.
This right here is the circle guy. Circle his name. Can't let him beat you, so what do? They put him in the leadoff spot. Now conversation on the mound, and even if he's the tying run, Tyrone Taylor's on deck.
By the way, Josh Hader is loosening in the Brewer bullpen. Rusdar Graterol is warming, or loosening, I should say, in the Dodger pen. Jansen's 1 out away. It's a tough out. Christian Yelich, who's hit it hard twice tonight, and he represents the tying run.
Cutter up and in.
Out over the middle of the plate, strike 1.
Missed his spot completely right there, and Christian was taken all the way. Watch where Will Smith wants it. Look where it ends up. Might be the best pitch he sees in this at bat.
Taking the first pitch a lot more this year than last.
That one misses badly. I would think, Eddie, if that's not the best pitch he sees and he sees another one like that, the game will be tied.
And for all the Erickson Crones that are sitting in Milwaukee, they're praying that this happens. But in LA, they're hoping Jansen can finish it out.
Oof. That looked like the swing of the struggling Yelich we saw at times this season.
Out of the strike zone.
Yeah, this pitch was completely out of that zone. He was looking fastball, wanted to cheat to it. I just don't think Jansen's supposed to even throw a pitch in the zone right now.
The strikeout rate went from 20.3 to 30.8 this year. Biggest jump in the major leagues. Again, that's so unlike Christian Yelich, whose bat-to-ball skills are remarkable.
Got him, and that's it. The Dodgers win game 1 of this wild card series as Jansen strikes out Christian Yelich to end it.
Fastball up in the zone. He gets him on the cutter, 90 miles per hour. Christian swung at 2 pitches out of the zone. Kenley Jansen doing what he does best, gets another save for the LA Dodgers, and now they lead this series 1-0.
A couple of doubles for Mookie Betts, the home run from Seager. Buehler started. Didn't see the blister, so that's good news for them. We'll have 5 games on ESPN and ABC tomorrow, starting at noon Eastern with Cincinnati and Atlanta. Miami and Chicago at 2 o'clock on ABC. White Sox and A's, 3 o'clock on ESPN. St. Louis and San Diego will be the 7 o'clock game tomorrow on ESPN. And we'll be back here at 10 o'clock tomorrow with the Brewers and the Dodgers. So another great day and night of baseball ahead. Today was a great one.
Right, an unprecedented